let's stop talking about Ted Lasso.
Okay.
Do you need to go?
No.
Okay. Do you want to talk briefly about the Silo?
Sure.
Also on Apple TV Plus.
Sure.
Rebecca Ferguson, who's everywhere. I think is she going to be in the next Mission Impossible? Probably. I'm sure she's back for that. But she's in everything. Post-apocalyptic, maybe. We don't even know. That's the best part of this show.
Yeah. This show is the most manipulative show I have seen in a long time. And it's not manipulative it's manipulative to the characters, but it's manipulative to you as an audience member. Yes. Because every single episode, it specifically twists your mind to think that one or another thing is going on. And then by the time you get to the end of the series, you're like, what?
Yeah. Specifically the visor. But yeah, so 10,000 human beings live in an underground silo. Yeah. 120, 25, 30, a lot of levels. It's just a big spiral.
Yes.
Births are controlled.
Because the population needs
because
to
the population necessarily
they don't have much space.
Right. So who you get to couple with has to be approved if you want to get married or date or have
just like England back
you
in
have
the
to
day.
Get approval to try to have a child.
Yes.
You have to recycle everything.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and then there's the cardinal commandment of the silo is if you verbally express that you want to leave the silo, you are immediately kicked out.
Yeah. You're taken into this place,
little room and prepared, but you go out and you have to clean the camera that feeds the view screen.
Well, you don't have to. You're given the option.
That's true.
You're being the cleaner, and every time they're like, "Are they going to clean it? Are they not?"
You are sent out to clean because all anyone can see is this blasted out landscape.
But basically, you're sent out to die.
Right, you're sent out to die. So and it's
very divergent in that there are different hierarchies. So the lower down you live in the silo, you have these jobs, and the higher up you live in the silo, you can be a doctor up here or someone in the government or someone in the police. And then
but all the mechanical stuff is
mechanical is deeper and deeper, which is, very much like our regular society. Like if, you live in a certain area, you're probably going to end up being a certain thing. And Rebecca Ferguson's character, her father is a doctor, but she decides to go work in the mechanical area down in the bottom, and she basically moves away after her mother dies. And so and we don't even see Rebecca Ferguson's character until episode 3.
Yeah, I know.
And so the first 2 episodes, I'm thinking that I'm getting some great performances by 2 actors I'm going to see throughout the entire show, and the two of the best actors that are cast in the show die or are out of there by episode 3 and 4.
Yeah, it really it's silly how quickly but again it sets the
poignant.
Well, yeah, but it sets the stage for the uncertainty of this narrative that we're given. It's apparently based on some books, and it she spends the part of her thing trying to solve what she believes to be the murder of the guy she was dating.
Yes.
In an unauthorized relationship, who was doing shady shit of his own down below the silo, even below engineering.
He found artifacts and he kept them, and you're not supposed to keep.
You're not supposed to have artifacts if you find anything
from the before
time. And there was a revolt like 100 years ago that all the records from before that were destroyed. So all we have is what the government is telling you. So yeah, on a micro level, this is very macro.
Yeah.
If you want to read right or left wing conspiracies into any of this show, you can. Whatever your favorite is. The only thing we don't have is UFOs, I think.
Yeah, it's everything else controlled. It's a very controlled environment, like a lot of third world countries where the information that is going in or out is being controlled by the top. And if there is anything that they see that they don't want you to think about or believe in or even conceptualize, then that is gone, and the person that found that is taken out.
Yep. And they have no idea how long they've been in the silo. They don't know if they'll ever be able to leave. They don't know who built it, nothing, because all of that's gone. So it's this, it's a really big chamber piece because they're contained in this pit in the ground. And and there's various political machinations going on. There's all of the interpersonal stuff, her trying to figure out her ex-boyfriend who had relationships before her, that there's shady shit over here, there's shady shit over here. So what you're trying to decide across these 10 episodes,
which shady shit do you believe in?
which shady shit is legit,
yeah,
which shady fuckers should you like and which one shouldn't you like, and what shady shit are they not telling you?
Yeah, because there's so much that's not, that they leave you to come up with yourself. So they leave you little bits and pieces and crumbs, and you look into things, and then you, as the audience, which I love shows like this, you have the ability to start coming up with your own conspiracy. You're building this conspiracy, and this is exactly how lies come up on the internet. It's like you're given all of these little sprinkles of things, and then your imagination,
they're only lies until they're disproven.
Right. So you have your own imagination to grow whatever story that you feel like you're going to grow, but then they kind of also say, okay, you have a little bit of room, but then we're going to push you this way.
Yep.
And then the next episode, they're like, that's not really, now you're going this way.
And they never contradict. That was the one thing I did like, is they didn't, because the biggest thing is what is actually outside.
Right.
And so what the people see is a blasted out hellscape. Yeah. And then when someone goes out, you see that person look around in their spacesuit, and they inevitably come over and clean the lens so that it's clear.
Yeah.
So that the people inside can see that it's still blasted out. Something happens, a character finds something that makes you believe that that is not the case.
Yeah, that there's really something different out there.
By the end of the show, something else, or a couple other things throughout the show, makes you question the validity of both the first and the second thing. Because you make, so this isn't real, this is real. Well, wait, no, that's not real. It's the first thing, but for a different reason. And then you get to the end and it's like, well, no, it's the second thing, but for a completely different reason.
Yeah.
And then they give you a definitive.
Yeah.
And you kind of guess. I mean, you could guess that macro look, but you see the reality outside the silo, and you have to determine, or we're left to determine. And I think they greenlit season 2 already.
Okay.
So I believe that one's been greenlit. So we should get a season 2. But now we have to determine what is going to happen then moving forward. I think it's left, the ending is left ambiguous enough.
Yeah. I mean, it gives you enough to be like, oh, so there's a bigger story here.
Which you could guess.
Yeah. But you just didn't know what the bigger story was. But now that you see what is out there, you're like, okay, there's definitely something going on here. That you did that's bigger than what you thought it was. But also it wasn't anything you thought it was. Because like in my mind, I thought it was something totally different. Whereas Ted Lasso, you watch it and you binge it because it makes you feel good and you want to keep getting those endorphins of feeling good. This show's like crack.
Right.
You like have to watch it to the next one because you want to know if the things that are implanted in your brain now are what is really happening, if you are as smart as what is being told to you. And so you are just addicted to consuming it because you want to know. And that's exactly where Sarah Ferguson's character gets to at a point, is she wants to know to the point where nothing else matters. And she's going to go through and fuck everybody else. Like, I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, and that's great. And we see, so again, this is a ridiculous cast. I mean, Tim Robbins is in this. Ian Glenn is her dad.
Yeah.
David Oyelowo is the sheriff.
I was hoping to see him through the whole time, but he's the
sheriff for the first 2 episodes. It's just Will Patton. Again, I can always watch Will Patton.
Well, and who's David's wife? She's usually a comedian, and she's like who discovers it and gets everybody on the trail to begin with because she can't have a baby, and then she finds out really they didn't take her birth control out.
Yeah.
And so she's an actress who is usually in like comedies, and she does such a great job at this dramatic role. And, you know, it hit really close to home when you are saying that you are controlling my body, and then you lie to me about it. They give her a year to get pregnant for her last time. They give her all that hope.
Yep.
And then they break her down because then she finds out they never actually gave her a chance.
Nope.
Like, that made me so furious in so many ways. Like, just say she doesn't get to try, right?
Right.
Like, why would you be so awful to someone? And that, going back to Ted Lasso, when Rebecca goes to the psychic and she tells her she's going to be a mom, and she's like, I didn't think that you were
I thought you were a hack, but you're actually dangerous.
You're dangerous because you're trying to give people hope, and hope is the biggest danger you can give anyone, right?
And
they give her character the hope for a year that she can get a baby when they don't even take her birth control out. That is an asshole dick move. And
but hey, look, if you enjoy what you're seeing and hearing on the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast, why not take a second to click subscribe if you're on YouTube, click follow wherever you're listening to us. Follow us on Twitter at VS Movie Podcast. Same over on Facebook. If you're on Instagram, it's Visually Stunning Movie Podcast. That would be awesome for us. We appreciate you listening. And now let's get back to the show. That's a control move. That's a spirit breaker. I
get it. They're breaking all the horses.
We don't need another baby, so we're not going to let you try. This is you couldn't get pregnant.
Well, and
you are not good enough to be.
She has thoughts of her own, and she's working in an area that they need her to be more compliant. So they figure if they break her down more, then she won't have any fight. But they broke the wrong person.
So again, a control straight denial is not a good enough control. People will fight denial.
Yeah.
But the illusion of possibility will break a spirit. Forget what Andy Dufresne said. Hope is not necessarily the best of things, because an unfounded hope can destroy you.
Yeah.
And that's what they were trying to do to her character. So that's the reason they do it. I mean, yes, if I ever became a post-apocalyptic warlord, I would probably know exactly how to control all of my people. But yeah, that's how it works. I mean, rebellion is built on no. The denial of things will make. I mean, look, Americans hate being told what they can and cannot do, which is why America is great. Which is also why America is America. And it's just human nature. Don't tell people no, because that is not how people are built. And if you want to have a society built, especially a society built on such intricate balance, you can't have that at any level. So if someone is starting to get a little you throw them a bone, you're getting your shot. I got my shot. So now you've diffused that. And that's, so that illusion, Jurassic Park, the illusion of control is important. So it is an interesting tactic to use. It is effective to combat human nature. Mm-hmm. And a lot of this show is about human nature, who you are, what you believe, who you love, what you're willing to do, how far you're willing to go. Are you willing to say no, that's not cool, or we can't do that, or you can't deny, or this or whatever. So this is very much about the people. The situation is almost secondary.
Yeah.
For me, but it is the cast is great. It's really well acted. I don't need any more books on my bookshelf to read, or I would go and look at the novels.
Yeah.
But it's let's see. Graham Yost is the creator. Did he write the books? No, he just did the TV show. So I don't. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, he produced Slow Horses, yet another show on Apple TV Plus. So apparently he works with Apple TV Plus a lot. That's the showrunner here. But Silo is it's another one of those shows it's a slow burn though. You have to get into it.
But once you get caught, you're.
because they give you just enough information in every episode for you to think, I got it. And now I have to see if I'm right. You're right. It's like, am I right? And then the next episode, it's like, well, you were almost right. It's never, you were just flat wrong. It's like, you were so close. I was so close.
So close.
Yeah. I mean, at the end, I had the generals of the ending. So I didn't feel too bad when we got to it, but I wasn't spot on.
Yeah.
But it's, because at a certain point you're like, well, one of two things can be happening.
Yeah.
In terms of outside.
Yeah.
And so you figure out which one it is. And then of course, then you have to figure out how they're doing that.
Yeah.
And then the why. Well, the why ultimately is control, but we see a bigger picture.
Yeah.
By the time we get to the end of the show. So there is a greater why in addition to this very localized why.
Yeah.
So theoretically, season 2 shouldn't take place in the silo.
I mean, I think it still has to. I honestly think because
you can't come back in.
There's more than one silo, right?
Yes.
And so are these silos secretly attached to each other? Because there are tunnels.
If they are, they're under
there are
the
tunnels,
door that he was looking for.
Right. And do some people know how to get in and out of those places? And can you live outside and not die? And are there camps of people outside the silos? So far we've only seen the dead people.
That is the question.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because there's a couple, I mean, they answer one question when she goes.
Because did everybody get the same tape?
No.
Right?
So is it the tape? Is it the filter? Is it?
Yeah.
So what? So, is the death from within or is the death from without? Again, we don't know that specifically.
Yeah.
I think it's from without. That's it's from without. But the other questions about the various silos that theoretically we'll see in season 2, that interplay is going to be, how independent and or interconnected are they?
Yeah.
That's going to be the question for season 2.
And I think that's kind of where they're going to go. Like, is that there are more secrets that lie beneath.
Oh, there always have to. There's always another level up. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, let's rave on Apple TV Plus again. They curate. Ryan says they curate their content so well. That's what Ryan says. I'm like, yes, Ryan, they curate their content so well. They don't. It's not Netflix. You can't scroll for days on Apple TV Plus like you can on Netflix.
Well, you can't on Max either, but Max does not curate their content.
Max does not curate their content
because there's almost nothing on Max.
No, it's very I mean, there's enough there that I need it, but Apple TV, they very rarely do they have bad stuff. They might have.
I think they have a vast array of things that no matter like what you're into, there's going to be something for you.
Right. But I don't think very little of their content is not good.
Right.
There's a couple that you're like, that could have been better. But I think overall, I think generally their level of content is impressive.
Yeah. They're definitely consistent.
If you took average quality level across all the streaming services, Apple would probably be at the top.
Yeah. I mean, it used to be Amazon, but now Apple's kind of kicking their butt.
Yeah. Well, Amazon had a couple of misses, big dollar misses too lately. So we'll have to see how that rolls out when we get season 2 of one of those. But no, so Silo is just, it's another one of those shows that I'd be interested to read the book. I don't know if I need to buy more books.
Yeah,
for those. But I think it's a solid post-apocalyptic adaptation. And when it first started, I was like, oh, this is like an adult City of Ember.
Yeah,
when I was because I enjoyed City of Ember.
It's like City of Ember and Divergent and like a bunch of things, but so much better than all of those things.
Yeah, because it does deal with some.
And it's quick. Like it is a slow burn to start, but then it felt like it went.
A lot happens, but
like
but it's an expansion of these slow burns. It's not they get to the answers really quick. Everything just kind of spreads out. So there's a lot going on, but they're not all moving really rapidly until you get to the end when it's like, and now you have to deal. That last episode, it brings like most of those threads together and then burns through that episode, and we get to that final shot.
Yeah.
Of her outside. So it's a slow burn, but it's never narratively, it's a slow burn, but as an experience, you're never bored.
Yeah.
It's never slow, which is weird. It's a slow burn, but it's not slow. So yeah, it develops these various threads slowly, but there are a lot of them. So it gives you time to absorb them all, which is good. It doesn't rush any of them. So that's a nice catch. So, you know what? Unless you want to rave about Silo some more.
No, I think we covered it.
I think we did too. I think Apple TV Plus. I'm telling that's one I'll pay for if they ever pull my access. I think that's definitely worth the $6 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever that one.
I mean, I still have my access, but I still pay for it because there's
other stuff.
There's stuff that isn't in our access that's still.
Yeah, and I have so much other stuff that I couldn't possibly get through it. So it's like I'll just take I'll take the access stuff for now. But yeah, you never know. It might get popped up there at some point. Val, where can everyone watch you on your 600?
I mean, I have I am Val Cameron is pretty much everything. Like that's me on Facebook, that's me on Instagram, that's me on my YouTube. And if you go to any of those places, there will be links to other things. whattoseewithval.com is where I have my written reviews and my video links to what I've done with you, Mark, with my other podcasts, with Channel 4, Good Things Utah. But yeah, I mean, just follow me on my regular social, and then you'll see links to everything else if you want.
There you go. We've got some stuff coming up this week, and we're going to be seeing, and next week. Next week is Mission Impossible with Rebecca.
I'm missing Mission Impossible. I will be in Florida at Florida SuperCon.
Oh, sucks to be you. First world problems.
Getting paid, man. I got to get paid.
There you go. Gotta pay the bills.
This pays me nothing.
Right, but you have a house, and that's important.
But I love it.
There you go. So thanks everyone for watching us gush about 2 series on Apple TV Plus: Ted Lasso, The Silo. Excellent stuff. Don't forget to like the Visually Stunning Movie Podcast over on Twitter at VS Movie Podcast. That'll get you everywhere else, or just go to the website vsmoviepodcast.com. And you will see all of my written reviews, the stuff I talk with Val, with Ryan, with everybody else, links to all the places I go that are not here. And there you go. So that's the end of our Monday holiday. Val, thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Bye.
And we will talk to everyone later. Bye-bye. Boop, boop. Okay. So I'm recording for a second.